We're going to try and make the light. There you go. It's a little more light. Ekaro, Eku Odun, Ojo Batala, Eku Ojo B. His Royal Highness Aba Adefumi the First. We woke up with a special pep in our step in our pep on October 5th with so many memories of our King's Day festival in the celebration of the life and legacy of the father of the cultural restoration movement. Those that know you or know of Oyotunji African Village, born in 1970 by this great visionary man, born in Black Bottom, Detroit, Michigan, to Garveyite parents. And Oyotunji is now 55 years old. And while it has been through many evolutions, what hasn't on our planet, we're still here, as Morpheus says, in the machine world. We're still here. And we're here as a collective, we're here as individuals, we're here as children of now Orisha Efuntola. And we give thanks for that. That would be the way to open up a Kindred update on the special day of October 5th, which should go down in history well beyond many of the retail holidays and themes that come around us in this capitalist society. And so we greet you from the Kindred of Sangoma. For those of you that are not familiar with Sangoma or Goko Sangoma or Ia, we are that in the embodiment of many things, many things. The Mystic School of Alchemy is a little bit of what we came here to talk with you about this morning. We had put out there registration for our fall quarter of the mystery school, but you can tell how much things are juggling and chaotic and noisy and distracted, and therefore it's very hard for even the most disciplined to come into focus and stay there, to maintain their center and not be pushed off or shoved off or pulled off. And so after registration closed and we had not one sign up, we said, okay, well, that makes it easier for us. All we have to do is record them now, which we will. And that we're doing this live just ahead of going into past Tuesday night's offering, which is the grace and state of being that is Ma'at. I bet you thought she was just a goddess. Oh no. Dig a little deeper, and we did. And we've been studying and embodying and kind of integrating because we don't come to tell you anything lightly. We don't. We give a lot of thought. People that raised us said, to whom much is given, much is required. And so therefore we we make ourselves responsible and accountable for thoughts, prayers, songs, teachings, offerings that we bring to you for the edification of our forward progression. And this is that time, is it not? This is that time. We really thought we had lived through some things, climactic, socially, politically, racially, civil rights. We could just go on in our 7 decades around the sun, and we would still not come to a season such as this. We were, in fact, listening to a few studies this week, and in particular in the astrology and the studies then of what above is doing that is giving us these effects down here below. And some of it we as a world, we as a planet have never seen before, have never experienced before. That's to be thought about. That's to tuck under your cap and think about that for a minute, and how you can move forward, checking your medicine pouch, checking your toolkit, knowing where your fears are, and remembering that fear is the false evidence of things only appearing real I could tell you 3 or 4 stories in my life just the last 2 weeks that make that statement true, that make it absolutely true. And give thanks. We have pictures and witnesses. We should ask Frank Salazar to say, send that picture, of us standing on the road, handcuffed on the way to New Orleans. Who would believe it? I say about this book we're trying to get out this holiday season. If I wasn't there personally, I would doubt it. But many of the otherworldly things, the miraculous realms we are experiencing at this time. And we came to bring that to you and just and say, yeah, we as a witness, we're raising our hand. It's real. If you'd like to know more, if you'd like to steady yourself in these uncertain times, in these very volatile times, we're going to be in the woods for a week, but you could still text me and say, yeah, I really think I want to, get a copy of that recording for the state of my art. Let me see. I have so many notes here. The state of my art is one, and that was from this Tuesday and next Tuesday. Then, can we get to it? Can we get to where we were? Yeah, there we are. We're going to be elevating and choosing sustainable timelines. That'll be the recording that will be ready for you as of next Wednesday, I guess, after it's due to come out on the 7th, which is, just around the corner. And then the following week, activating our inner strength and tapping into our resilience. We're going to need it. We're going to need it. We have persevered through some major things, but, this is like everything happening at once. And who are we in it? And how do we keep moving? And even in particular, I say again, because I know many grounded people and many priests and people that are good about their orishas and their ancestors, their rituals. And yet, the level to which the chaos, the storm is moving around you. We have such love for our Godfather on this day, but we also have to pay tribute to our Godmother, Odufonda Daramola, and she is very much living. Give thanks that we can remember those first days of being a new Yawo. And I was so eager, Beaver, aren't we all? So eager, Beaver wanted to know what to study and what to do and all like that. And so my Yelosha said, oh, you want to be a good priest? Say, how about this? How about you maintain your head in a cool ori when everyone else around you is losing theirs? And that pretty much put me quiet for the rest of the day. Of course, you're in a temple. You don't have a lot to do but pray and study and sing. But I thought about it. I thought about the worst of storms, the worst of confusions when, like rioting, because of course my life has seen this. My life has seen when people perceive their not even so much righteousness, but their right to be right. And could simply lock arms and say, well, we shall overcome. We have that belief. We'll put something that we are not yet walking in out ahead of us as if we have all the power of God to do it. And they did, obviously. Now, where did that get us some 20, 30 years later? Well, here we are. Here we are with epidemic, mental illness, epidemic, drug addiction. You could just go on. You could just go on with those that apparently have empty medicine bags and empty toolkits. And it makes us wonder which ones of us are tending our lighthouse and how bright are our lights to shine through this time of darkness and come out the other side. So that's basically why we are here. Our doctor gave us a wonderful and powerful prayer that we've kept. We're going to share with you. I am awake. I am aware. I am able. And I remember. I listened last night and we'll be doing it again as I go into this recording of the state and grace of Ma'at on remembrance. You see, and I often say that as a spiritual midwife. I say, really, I can't teach you anything. It's true, even as we go out here in the woods in a tent for the next week, loving our time around the campfires and those who come to sit with us for various wisdom teachings and clan mother teachings and so on. And I'm very firm about that. Midwives then come to assist a birth. At no time are they having the baby. And spiritual midwives come to walk alongside you while you are spiritually rebirthing something. You're letting go of something so that something else can be born. It really is the Chinese New Year of the Woodsnake. We really are shedding some skins, and we really are uncomfortable in the new skin. And yet, winter is coming. Winter is coming. And those of you that watch the heavens or Stephen Burns or are in tune with your own galactic guides and beings, then you know what's about to come on in here on the winter solstice and what is needed collectively for humanity to embrace that, or at the very least, not fear it. So, those are a few things up ahead. We invite you to stay tuned with us. And we had this reading we wanted to put out there for today because it's good. My mother would be happy if I would put my glasses on while I read this small print. We've been trying to do that more as time goes by and your eyes say, give us some help. Give us at least a magnifying glass. And so we will, because this is a really good reading. And stay with us if you like. And if not, we understand. So today, okay, let's see how we get it. That way. There you go. Earth Prayers, Jamie Sams. She is an ancestral mother. And Crowns of Isis, our rites and passages for women of color in particular, is 13 moons long. And so we give that little spiel for Jamie Sams because she's just been a treasure in our toolkit for at least the last 2 decades. We love her so much. So in the 10th moon, which this is in October, we are now in the lunation of Weaves the Web. And in case I hadn't gotten that from the, 4 or 5 spider webs on my front porch as we go into the Ilei Ku, our temple for the ancestors outside in the yard this morning, there was a big, maybe big as this part of my hand spider, okay? And huge web, and the grandmothers have just been webbing in the door. Say literally, daughter, you cannot enter here into this temple as you go through a web. And it's just been amazing. Maybe about the last 3 or 4 days, this has been true. So we weren't that surprised when we turned to dreams in the web. Dreaming of what would serve the children of the earth. Grandmother Spider saw many things that seemed discordant to the harmony of the whole. She became troubled by the nightmarish visions at the edge of her web. She knew that all of her dreams would comprise the web of creation and that all living things would have those experiences that she was spinning into the tangible world. Grandmother Spider reached out to the great mystery and spoke in her concern. We're going to do that later on today. We got a ritual from a tarot reading. Said, pick up your stick from below that cedar tree out there in the backyard. And like the goddess declare, I'm not coming, I've arrived. And I'm ready. Ashe? Mm-hmm. The voice of the great mystery spoke to Grandmother Spider's heart and said, there's no reason to fear these challenges that have been placed within the web of creation. It is through testing and tempering the substance of our human children that they will find their inner strengths and release the weaknesses of their own creative abilities, growing into their potential and their wholeness. The desire to overcome lives within them and fires their ability to create and to grow. Without challenges, the two-legged humans will never know desire. And without desire, there is no creation. That's just for you today. And so if you look, I guess, on the website, kindredofsangoma.org, you would see, hopefully, because we had it set up, as if we were going to do the regular little Zoom boxes and so forth and so on every Tuesday, temple time at 7. But now we're just going to record what they gave us, these messages and teachings. I love them. I really do. I've delved into them, and the songs seem right, the movement, the rituals seem right, and the information for sure is, even for someone like myself who studies these types of things. Alokun is my mother, to say, wow, I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know that. Like my has no creation story. She wasn't birthed out of another entity. Like, I never knew that, okay? I saw the scales. I knew it evolved a feather and a heart and stuff like that. And people speaking of moving into heart coherence. And yeah, it all comes together. And so I say, as my ancestors have once said to me, there's just no reason for bumping around in the dark in the basement when you can come up hither. It's a thought. Much love, much love, much love. Peace and blessings.